Hi everybody, today I'm going to make a mourning dove shelf. I didn't know what kind of birds were actually nesting out there, but I knew approximately how big the female bird was, so I made the nest to accommodate one bird. But I realized after watching them that turn some electricity on here. I realized after watching them and kind of peeping, spying on them really through the peephole of the door, that they both try to get into the nest at the same time. Mourning doves mate for life, and they both participate in raising and teaching their little ones to fly and all that. It was very interesting to. Once I realized what kind of bird was living out there, I did a little research on them to just try to find out how I could be more accommodating, because, well, I just wanted to. Anyway, I think it's pretty quaint that a couple of birds wanted to come and live on the front porch there. So, anyway, I'm going to make a larger. It's going to start out round, and it may change as we go along, but it's going to start out round, and then I'm going to try to square it up a little bit. So here we go. I've got about 3.25 pounds of clay here. It's a little bit stiff, so I'm going to need to cone it a few times. That feels pretty good. That feels pretty good. Well, that kind of made it pointed. I'm not sure. Well, maybe. Let's see. See what it looks like. Well, that's not bad. Maybe I can tilt it back forward a little bit. The rib in there up against the wall, but I'm just gonna start at the top and turn it down kind of like a plate. This will be like one of those New England chowder plates. I want them to have something to sink their little claws into when they get on the edge of this. Okay. It's terrible to see those poor little guys out in the cold, and they nest up there in the winter because they don't go south for the winter around here anyway. They're here all winter on the porch, and I'm pretty sure they get pretty cold out there. I've seen them just huddled up against the light, the porch light, and sometimes when it's going to be really, really cold, I'll leave the light on out there so that they will have some source of heat. And they both, it's amazing to watch doves because they take turns being next to the light, because there's only one of them and there's only room for one bird at a time. I'm going to scoot it so that I can kind of touch the bottom with this, and then I'm going to push that up. Yeah, that's what I figured. It's stuck. So that's okay though, because it'll turn loose. But this is, I have to have a way of attaching this to the underneath the porch. So this will get a hole in it, maybe 2 holes in it, and there are 2 hooks out there that I can just hook this on. Hold it evenly. And I'll just set this big wad of clay on the back of the board here next to the bat. Stick it just like that. And then when it sets up a bit, I can poke the holes in it. And I may poke some other holes in it around here just for ventilation. Here's our little mourning dove tray. It's fairly well set up. You know, the sides are not completely dry, but they're fairly stiff. I have put some grooves in the bottom to give it a little bit of texture there, and I'm about to put some holes in the bottom or in the sides as well. So wanted to, excuse me, bring you in on that because sometimes I think the little guys need to breathe, you know, even if it's really cold. They do a really good job of building a nest, and they fluff their little feathers out to keep themselves warm. And so I think that they need little air holes to breathe. So first of all, I think I'll put the two holes in this back part. I'm going to put them sort of far apart. I guess I better measure how far up those need to be. I can estimate the middle as being right there. And I can put a hook here and maybe one right there. So that went up right to there. Another thing on this little Bill Van Gilder tool is that you can mark how far up you went on it. Let's see if you have something to mark it with. And that way, like if you want another hole to be the same as that hole, the same diameter, you can just shove it in that far, and when you get that far, stop. And that's the magic distance. Okay, so let's see here. So there are our two holes in it for hanging it onto the porch. And remind me not to turn this on because these are not stuck onto the bat pins. So I'm going to put, let's see, I'll put one here, and I'll put one here and one here. I'm not going to get real scientific about how far apart these are, but I want to give the birds something that they can sort of lodge the little sticks in, because if you've ever seen a bird nest, so they kind of get the branch or whatever it is they brought to make the nesting material out of, they kind of pull it over, get it up against something, and then they kind of build the rest of it from there. So these are just basically breathing holes, or ventilation, we'll call it. There. That ought to give them enough ventilation. Let's put something right there. And if they get cold, they can always snuggle up to the back side of this thing, right? Which is up against a piece of wood that it's going to be hanging on. So there it is. Going on, this hasn't been fired yet, so I can't hang it up here, but I hope you can tell what is going on here. So there's the bottom, and back here is the flat part.